2022 two or 2023's Marvel flop. Yeah, one of their biggest flops, but still not their worst movie. The Marvels from 2023. Yeah, I'm finally gonna see this movie again. I haven't seen it since like 2024. Yeah, I saw it 2 years ago on Disney Plus. Now I'm gonna stream it for you guys today. It's only an hour and 45 minutes. That's with the end credits. And I got my doll right here and my Captain Marvel hat. So let's get started. Yes, I am a fan of this character. So sue me. Huh. Put her sitting down right here. This shouldn't have flopped. If it came out a lot sooner, it would have done much better. It's because Brie Larson hate was off the charts then. I'll just put it over here. It's okay. I got the hat, so this movie would have done big gangbusters if it came out earlier. They kept delaying it and delaying it. Because the first one made $1 billion. How do you go from $1 billion to a flop? Well, you don't give the people what they want. That's what. And you wait too long. That's what happened with Joker, Folie à Doof. It came out years after the first one and it flopped. Aquaman didn't flop, but it didn't make the $1 billion like the first one. Sometimes you got to release a sequel much sooner than you think. If you wait too long, people lose interest. If you do it too soon, they might lose interest as well. But you got to have that balance. By this time, we had superhero fatigue because Marvel had 3 movies that year and 2 of them were flops. Guardians did well, but that came out in the summer. And this movie couldn't be promoted because of the writer's strike and the Actors Guild strike. This villain is lame. She was lame when I first saw this. She's just another Loki with a stick. And I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why Loki was so special, because Tom Hiddleston proved himself. This lady with the grills, and yeah, she's not a good actress. She might as well have been in one of the Star Wars sequel trilogy movies or Solo or Rogue One. It would have been the same performance. She's just dull. What saves this movie is the girls, the 3 girls. Photon, they should have said her name in the movie, Breeze, Carol Danvers, and of course Miss Marvel, Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan. She's interesting. We're going to see more of her because she's young. She's still got plenty of time to get another hit film. Because she had a hit show, Miss Marvel, people did see it. It just didn't hit as big as WandaVision because we got too much content from Marvel. That's why this movie flopped and some of their shows flopped. We didn't need like 5 shows and 3 movies a year. It's just too much content, you know? Now we got less. We only got 1 movie in July and 1 movie in December, and that's it. This villain is just as boring as the one from Deadpool and Wolverine. Here we go, Jersey City. See, she has a shrine to Carol Danvers. And this character knows Miles, Peter Parker and Miles, because in the cartoon, she knows her. She knows most of the Spider-Verse characters. She has a Miles personality and imagination. Hello, John. Even though this movie failed, at least this movie was way better than the Thunderbolts. Yeah, because some of these characters will come back. Also, this movie actually has superheroes in it, unlike Madam Web. Madam Web is worse, guys. Madam Web was a flop too, and everybody hated it. Twinsies. Because if you didn't see Miss Marvel, WandaVision, or the first Captain Marvel, you're going to be completely confused. It's another thing. If you don't see the Disney Plus shows, you're going to be lost. That's now they're not making it. They're making it optional because Miss, Wonder Man has nothing to do with the MCU right now. It's just a standalone story. It has nothing. It's not going to connect to Spider Man or Doomsday, which is fine. Not everything needs to be connected, guys. There's Brie Larson. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her as Rosalina because that will be a huge hit. The movie, I already got my ticket for Super Mario Galaxy, and I'm ready to go. That's footage from the first movie. They don't mention Jude Law again, or some of the scrolls are not in this movie. Lashana, she's not good in the film. She's barely in the film, and there's a reason for that. She was supposed to replace Brie in Multiverse of Madness, and yeah, she died. This Captain Marvel could have put up a good fight against Wanda. Why? Because she's powerful. There's Monica. She's cute. Then the blip happened, and then she got older, and her mom died. That was retcon that they put the villain from in this movie in the first movie. They never showed her in the first movie. They showed Jude Law, and that's it. There's Goose the cat. I saw this in the theater. A lot of people didn't, but again, I'm not sexist or anything. And Brie Larson, Brie Larson is allergic to cats, just like me. She's a good actress, guys. She won an Oscar. Stop acting like she's a multi-time Razzie winner because she's not. They just hate her because of what she said. A lot of people hate for the things I say. Just because this flop doesn't mean Mario will flop. It won't. She's not gonna. I guarantee you, get Mario Galaxy is not gonna flop because Brie Larson's in it. She's Rosalina, not Princess Peach. She's another character. So, and I'm doing this because it's Women's Month. I'm gonna do Supergirl probably Sunday, the 1984 film. I don't think this movie's horrible. People just hated it because it was another Marvel movie that was released that year. Of course not. She's a grown woman, and yet they never called her Photon. You're gonna give them a name on the popcorn bucket and not say their name. Miles, they have to say Miles Morales. They can't just, you know, tease us. And Tiana Paris is beautiful, man. It's way better looking than Cynthia Erivo. Fight me on that. She has hair. She's younger, I think. I don't know why there's so many Brits in this movie, but I'm like, guys, Marvel's infested with them. Look at the last Fantastic Four movie and Thunderbolts, and now Spider-Man. You don't have to British everything. You don't have to put Brits in everything. No, I'll update this after the movie. If this had come out like in 2020 or 2021, it would have done much better. But again, the pandemic ruined everything. People were just wanting to hate on this from the moment it started. I don't think it's a horrible movie. I've seen more You know what's worse than this? Four Stick. That movie's boring, and it was a huge bomb. It was so bad they had to reboot the Fantastic Four again. They're not going to reboot Captain Marvel because she'll be back, or they'll put Miss Marvel in there because she doesn't need to be rebooted because she came back in Marvel Zombies. Yeah, even Wanda came back as a zombie. So anything's possible at this point. When they switch powers, it's like Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, except with three girls, not any guys. And this is still better than Charlie's Angels 2019. That movie doesn't bash men. She's in space. Josh is like, she failed, but Mr. Terrific didn't for DC. Yeah. And I love Brie Larson's big eyes. You know how they say she can't act. You're wrong. Because again, Room, watch that. Stream that once and see how wrong you are. I know a good performer when I see it. I've seen bad performances like Amber Heard and Margot Robbie and Emily Blunt. Everything I've seen her in, I hated her in. Everything. Brie, I've loved most of her performances in this, Kong Skull Island, and 21 Jump Street, and freaking even Don John. That wasn't her fault. Or Free Fire. See that? She can act. People just hate everything now. That's their problem. Josh lets that hinder him and he runs away. I don't run away from my problems. I face it head on. Brie's involvement, I'm like, Brie was going to come back. That we're not going to recast this character. She's too big of a character to be recast. You went with your sisters, but you should go see Spider-Man, Josh. Support good cinema so that it still stays, sacred. I don't want the MCU to die. It should have taken a break after Endgame, but people didn't want that. During the pandemic, everybody was just like would see anything. I was so bored in 2020, I had to see whatever I had on Blu-ray and DVD and stream whatever I could. There she is. She's so cute. I want to meet her at Comic-Con. Not everybody can be a Tony Stark. I'm sorry. Some characters are going to be taken seriously. They don't have to crack jokes every 2 seconds. At least this is not as jokey as Thor, Love and Thunder. Doesn't need a mask. No. At least she got over, because I saw people dress up as Miss Marvel in several Comic Cons. That's how you know a character got over. She-Hulk did not. I saw a girl in makeup that looked better than the She-Hulk that we got in Disney Plus. That was terrible. Secret Invasion was bad. That's why people didn't watch this. It came out a few months before this. I'm like, that didn't even have Carol in it. It was about Nick Fury and the Skrulls, even though they're not played by the same actors. It was stupid. And well, one of them was Ben Mendelsohn, but his daughter is played by that franchise killer, the franchise killer, Emilia Clarke. Yes, you do run away, Josh. We're talking and you don't even want to say anything. The action's good in this movie. I like the action. Yeah, there's Brits in this movie and they suck. They're bad, okay? They're horrible. But I don't hate the movie because of it. I do like Beast's cameo at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. Cancel culture can suck it because Bree's gonna be back with a vengeance when the Mario makes $1 billion. I'm gonna be like, I told you that Bree's over, guys. You just hated her for stupid reasons. It's like Blake Lively. Oh, she made a mistake, so let's hate her forever. Again, guys, she makes mistakes. Everybody does. Name me one actor that didn't make a mistake. Sometimes they make a bad movie or a bad TV show or a bad talk show or they play a sport that they're not good at. Look at Michael Jordan. He was a terrible baseball player. Yeah, he knew that. He was a basketball player. Know your strengths. There's their Indian parents, yes. Even though they're Pakistanis. Captain Marvel broke it. I do like them in the show. If you've never seen Miss Marvel, plus they're light skinned. They're light skinned. They're not dark skinned, so they're not. Because Avantika's darker than her. Avantika's from India, not Pakistan. I would love to see her in something like this. Big budget, not a bad horror movie, because she can act and she's gorgeous. Marvel had forced diversity in the films like this, like the last Fantastic Four, is because they thought having Brits in them will help them bring audiences, and it's not because they can't act. Name me one movie Vanessa Kirby saved. Not Fallout. That was a great movie without. It didn't need her in it. Josh just didn't love it because it wasn't. It didn't have Paula Patton and it was different. But I'm like, yeah, it was epic though. It was a huge hit. Then the pandemic happened, and then Dead Reckoning was 2 parts, and that didn't work. We didn't need 2 parts. We needed one movie or none. One movie that was complete and don't kill off Ilsa Faust, and that would have been much better than killing off your girl that was the longest girl in the franchise, Get attacked. I'm like, Josh, you got to take your lumps like a man. You can't run away from everything. I didn't. This film flopped, and I still went to go see the MCU in the theater. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and I saw Captain America. Yeah, it flopped too, but then after that, I was like, yeah, I'm done for a while. I'm seeing Spider-Man in July. What's your excuse? I don't have money. Sell something. I had to. You know how many cell phones I sold? This villain is so boring. You know, Game of Thrones has been over for years, right? I mean, there's been two spin-offs. You had House of the Dragon and that Seven Kingdoms thing that just came out. People want a fix, Josh. That's what you do every time I post a girl. Like, I gotta work off to this. Why? Our son. Oh, I thought our son. I thought she said she had a son. Yeah, she doesn't have no son. I hated Fallout 1 on the Blu-ray. Yeah, then do a podcast for it. I dare you. I did it already. I'm not doing Dead Reckoning because the first one was just really long and it was underwhelming. Not horrible, but Final Dead Reckoning was just boring. I was bored out of my mind. It needed to be shorter. Because the Skrull should have been in this movie and had a big part in it. Setting up Secret Wars. Because Secret Wars is coming up in 2 years. Well, actually, is it next year or is it 2 years from now? I forgot. I think they pushed it because I support this movie. I don't have it because hello, Goosey. Look at her face. Because Goose is a cat, an alien cat. This flop, so what? A lot of Marvel movies flop. Mm-hmm. A cat could do that. That guy looks like Nightcrawler. It's not him because they're saving him for Doomsday, even though that could flop too, guys. I do like her new costume. I just prefer the Warbird costume from the comics. Yep. No one wants to see a Mission Impossible movie. Yes, yes, they do. You gotta be brave, Josh. You can't be afraid of what people think. Yep. See, whenever they switch powers, they turn into another person. That's Fantastic Four: Rise of Silver Surfer, guys. Remember when they switched powers? Johnny Storm got turned into thing, and Ben became a fire. You're so cute. This is somebody that doesn't care what other people think. Again, that's another character. I like the soundtrack in this movie too. I was singing in the theater. Miles is gonna be done. I'm telling you. That's why they're putting his parents in the movie. That's got to be his parents. This can't be alternate timeline thing because he lives in the same city as Peter Parker. And if Peter dies, who's gonna replace him? Miles, just like in Into the Spider-Verse. That happens, Josh. Wake up. Yeah, Disney can do it. They practically did a Spider-Verse last time the movie came out. The No Way Home was the Spider Verse in live action because you had three Peter Parkers in the same movie, and Doctor Strange and a bunch of others. Yeah, it was. Besides, the Spider-Man movies that are live action make more money. Why? Not everybody likes this digital art form like Goat. They don't. My mom hates that animation because it looks weird. Miles Iman has light skin like me. Well, she's brown. She's not like me. She's a little bit darker than I am. Her parents are light skinned. He does look like Nightcrawler. It's a good makeup effect. Tiana Paris will bounce back. Don't worry. She did WandaVision. That's still one of the most highly regarded Marvel shows ever. That was cool. She jumped right through them. She has personality. That's what's going to save her from. This is not horrible. I've seen horrible, guys. Green Lantern 2011 looks like that looks like an asylum movie compared to this, the 2011 movie, because at least this, while it flopped with honor. You take everything. I don't take everything. I'm gonna watch this movie, do a podcast, and then go on to the next film. Tomorrow I'm doing what was it Snow Day. That has some girls in it. It destroyed that poor home, man, in Jersey City. Yet none of the neighbors heard that. Okay, that was funny. Yeah, that goose is cute. I'm not even a cat person. I'm more of a dog person. I have a puppy, but this cat is cool. Even after this flopped, I still saw people dressing up as Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. She's cute. She's got chubby cheeks. She's a cutie pie. I would love to watch. I would love to meet her at Comic Con. She was the MVP in Marvel Zombies. You can't be afraid to try new things. And she has that beautiful hair. That really is Tiana Paris's hair. Shelby Simmons is cute. I do like her. See, that's a real cat. When they're petting it, it's a real cat. Yeah, exactly. Just say photon. You will. No, it's not the same name. In the comics, her name was Ms. Marvel, not Miss. Ms. Marvel. And she had the Warbird costume, which I want to see in the MCU. Even if they do recast her, I don't care. Just get that outfit in the MCU. It could be sexy, you know. You don't have to be afraid of that. She's cute. She's my height. She's my height. Iman Vellani. She's 5'6". Oh, Brie, you're so sexy, man. You think I'd be afraid of telling people I'm into Brie Larson? I'm like, yeah, I am. Even before this. Yes, we know. Families are complicated. Yes, you are. If that was Natalie Dormer, this would have been dead to me. I'm sick of girls having to hide an accent for 2 hours. This wasn't even 2 hours. It's like an hour and 30 something minutes. That's pretty short because Wicked was way longer than this. Yeah, it's about an hour and 30 something minutes. Let's see. Yeah, it's one of the shortest MCU movies because it's fast paced. It doesn't slow down. And anything will be better than Eternals, guys. That is the worst MCU movie I've ever seen in my life. I thought Iron Man 3 was bad. At least I had Robert Downey Jr. That had somebody that cared. And even Gwyneth Paltrow. I know people hate her now too. I don't get it. At least I had something. I was bored out of my gourd the first 20 minutes in Eternals. And I'll never do a podcast for it. To try new things. I am. I mean, look at Superman. That was a new version of Superman, and it worked. It made more money than this. You know why? Because people cared. James Gunn's writing really hit a chord with audiences. It made me cry 4 times at home. Four, not once. 4 times. You saw me cry, guys. Is she gonna? And the thing is, they're setting up they're setting up the Young Avengers because they have her, Kate Bishop, and they have Miles, who's also in that team, I believe. And also you got Peter, and you have who else? I think Ironheart, but I don't know if they're gonna probably recast her or just rework her because people were not a fan of the show. I thought it was fine, but Wonder Man was better because it was one story, guys. They didn't have to do this world building thing. They did their own story, and it has a black lead, so I don't want to hear. Oh no, she missed. Because in this version, they make Kamala's powers crystallize. In the comics, she has long, stretchy arms and legs like Mr. Fantastic. She's similar to that, and she's a mutant. If you saw the end of Miss Marvel, yeah, she could be in the X Men. Iman's very young. She could be an X Men in 5 years from now. They're skydiving without a parachute. I don't even remember this villain's name because the first movie had Lashana, who was not needed in the film, and then you had Jude Law, who's underused, and then Ronan, who's like a cameo basically, because to set up the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I saw Lee Pace; he's going to be a voice as the new villain in Invincible season 4. So I don't want to hear from you, Josh. Oh, he's a lame villain again. The last villain really took Invincible for a ride because I'm like that last villain. I was like, damn, that's a lot. And I saw the panel for Invincible at Comic Con last year. Catherine Newton's Cassie, yeah, she'll be back. That's another character. Just because a movie flopped, that doesn't mean it's the end of the character, guys. Because they could come back in a Disney Plus show or get their own movie. Miles is by himself. Yeah, but no, he's part of a team too, Josh. I liked Wonder Man, but WandaVision's better. I know. You don't have to tell me. There we go. The three girls in the same frame. See, it only took 28 minutes for that to happen. In Madam Web, it took like near the end of the movie for them to fight, and I'm like, yeah, they don't have the costumes. That's a dream. It's not even real. She has a Wonder Woman's bracelet. Wink, wink. Huh? I still like this better than Wonder Woman 1984. I know, Josh. I know. That movie's way too long. I would have done it if it was an hour shorter. It didn't need to be 2.5 hours. There's a lot of filler in that movie with Pedro Pascal that could have been cut out, and you could have cut. If you're not going to use Barbara, save her for the next movie. I'm smarter than these idiots in these idiot executive studios, the studio executives that they think that they need to pump so much into a movie when you don't. Less is more, guys. She has a Captain Marvel shirt. She captured. She's cute. Don't talk to them. She's cute. She's a fanboy, which I like that. She's the audience. She's the audience. Oh look, I'm going through all these adventures with two girls. See, that's not the scroll from the first movie. They're different scrolls. Wanda is an X-Men character, Josh. She's not just an Avenger. Because Marvel didn't have the rights to make her a mutant, they had to call her like a special powered character. Yeah. Now that they have the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, use them. Don't lose them. And don't stunt cast them. That's not what people want. They want accurate costumes and characters from the comics or the graphic novels. Yeah, you can take some liberties. I mean, but make the character accurate to the the source material. You can't make them nothing like in the comics. The makeup is good in the movie too. I defended this movie even when I left the theater. I'm like, that's not the worst movie I've ever seen because Eternal still hurts me. 5 years later, and it's still that was still painful. That was the slap of a hurt around the world for the MCU. And when they said they're coming back, they're not coming back. That movie underperformed so badly that even fans of Marvel were like, "Yeah, we don't want to see that." I liked how they switched powers. That's kind of interesting. If this hadn't flopped, we would have gotten a third movie. But again, people hated Brie so much. They're like, Brie needs to be executed from the MCU. Nobody decides that except for Feige or one of the executives at Marvel or Disney. Not the fans. Sorry. Because if that was the case, they would have recast Wolverine, and they did not do that. We needed Hugh Jackman back. Daniel Radcliffe was just going to feel like, oh, look, a big name celebrity pretending to be Wolverine. No. There's no Wonder Woman. There will be, Josh. Give it a few years. They're not going to rush her because you can't just throw her into a movie out of nowhere. That's what they did in Batman v Superman. They put her in the movie like in small increments, and then we finally get her at the end. I don't want that for Miles. Do the story and then set him up in the post-credit scene. That works because the post-credit scene doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost you the movie. The X-Men are coming. Yeah, we know, Josh. X-Men 97 is coming back in summer. And Wanda is Miss Marvel is a mutant. They already explained that. DC will bring Diana back when it's her time, or they'll just do Wonder Girl as a HBO Max show, and then put her in the movie. That that poor city was completely annihilated, man. And this is a better movie than Solo because I can actually see what's happening. It's not so dark I can't see anything. Because Solo, the whole movie was just muted colors and just ugly to look at, man. Ugh. And people wanted a Disney Plus show for that. Why? So you could throw hissy fits more? You know, Kathleen Kennedy's gone, right? She was the worst producer in Hollywood right now. I'm glad she's gone. No one's going to miss her. Like Kevin Feige, they'll miss him after Secret Wars because he's done after that. And I get it. You can get a new producer that's younger and someone who cares about the fans enough to produce things that they want to see. Not garbage like She-Hulk and Secret Invasion and Eternals. That's bad, Marvel. Even Moon Knight, I thought was just too weird. The Skrulls are going to be in Secret Invasion. I mean, Secret Wars. It's not like Black Panther Wakanda Forever where it had to make us wait for over 2 hours. Yeah, that movie's too long. That movie needed to be. It's like they didn't have Chadwick Boseman, so they let's just double the running time and they won't care. Yeah, the fans do care because there's way too many characters in that movie. You could have cut a third of the characters out and save it for another movie. There's Valkyrie, Josh. Yeah, I know she was supposed to have a lesbian kid, but I'm like, no, keep your bisexuality to yourself, Tessa Thompson. We don't need it in the MCU. Pandering doesn't work. We get it. See, she kissed her on the cheek. Why? Because Disney. That's why. Oh, you're bisexual? There, let's put that in the script. Why? Nobody cares about that. You're not going to have LGBT characters in the MCU. That's just not going to happen. That failed, and it failed. I mean, when you had that gay couple in Eternals, why? This isn't the Loud House, guys. That worked, even though I don't care for it because I like Clyde. I don't care about that kid and his two dads. It was stupid in Eternals. You didn't need that. It made me uncomfortable in the theater seeing that. Like, why is there LGBT characters in this cinematic universe? I don't need Iceman to be gay, okay? I don't need it. That's not necessary. That's to pander to the Pride Month people in June, and I don't need it. Brie will return. Yes, she will. On a Wonder Woman film right now, but they're gonna wait at least 2 years. Holla. You don't need it. I like Bright Tyree Henry. I knew he's not gay because he was Miles' dad in the first two Spider-Verse movies, and he was in Godzilla versus Kong and Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire, which I want to do soon. There's the COVID mask they had to wear during the production because this was made during COVID, by the way. That wasn't part of the script originally, but they had to give them masks. No, I don't remember. I still could see what's going on. Because in Solo, it was so dark, man. Nobody could defend that movie and say, oh, it's a great looking film. No, it's horrible. Muted colors. Miles and Gwen. Again, an interracial thing works for when it's a heterosexual couple. Nobody wants to see. No, you weren't. This is a retcon. She wasn't in the first movie. I hate when they retcon something and they just throw a character in there we never met. Like in Fast Five, they said, "Oh yeah, Jason Momoa was there." No, he wasn't. They added that in Fast X. Dante, yeah, he was not in Fast Five because Jason Momoa at that time was doing that Conan remake. Yeah, blah 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 blah. The, do all these Marvel villains have to give a speech? You know, you're boring, guys. Thanos did something about it. He's a great villain compared to this louse. Yeah, he's at least interesting. Or Loki, or even the freaking the Winter Soldier and Robert Redford and the Winter Soldier were better than this. At least they didn't give these long, boring speeches. The only one who does good speeches is Captain America. You know, Chris Evans' version. That's why they're bringing him back. Because Sam Wilson was a failed experiment. He was good as the Falcon, but as a replacement Captain America, they should have given him more time. Or they should have released a movie, like I said, a year later, not 4 years later. It was too late by then. People lost interest and they just weren't accepting him as Cap. And it's not because he's black. It's just that they put the politics in there. And I'm like, yeah, that's why people were uninterested when it came out. And it felt more like an Incredible Hulk sequel than a Captain America movie. I'll probably do that movie for like Memorial Day or something. I don't want to do it this month. There's no strong females in that movie. They're mostly just side characters. Like Liv Tyler's in 2 scenes, and then that Israeli chick is like in a couple of scenes, and that's it. It's mostly male driven because most of the villain is a male, Cap is a male, and Carl Lumbly is a male, and Falcon is a male. So yeah, I'm gonna wait. That's where Mario's going, into space. Because what do you think Galaxy is in space? Again, then the snap happened, and then the blip happened. Sam had a good speech in the show. Yeah, he did. But then when the movie came out, I'm like, it's not his movie. It should have been more about him. At least this is shorter than Wicked for Good. It's not 2 hours and 8 minutes. That's too long, guys. Musicals should be shorter. They don't need to be long. They sing a music. They have musical numbers in this movie because they go to a planet where everybody sings. Because again, it's Disney people. That's why the Asian guy sings and all these people, they sing everything they say. Yeah. Again, blame Disney for that. Don't blame Marvel for that. Bosoms. Yes. It's not copyrighted. You're shaking hands. You're not touching each other, or that would be a different movie. They don't. They don't call her Photon. At least I wasn't scared to see this in theaters. I saw it in the theater. I got the. Darben, boring villain, guys. I knew she was going to be boring because I'm like, there was not one good villain in 2023. Kang was a good villain, but they should have used him more. Instead, Jonathan Majors got into trouble with the law and they fired him. And now they want to bring him back? I don't get it. You can't fire people and then rehire them, guys. That's not how it works. Once I never got fired from a job, I quit. Yeah, I had to quit because I don't believe in getting fired and embarrassed in front of other people. At least I care about these characters. I didn't care about the characters in Madam Web or Charlie's Angels 2019 because they had to. They're not interesting. Some of the actors are good. I mean, Sydney Sweeney she proved herself, but not in that movie. How far are we in? We're about 43 minutes in. Let me see if they have. Yeah. Yeah, they have Snow Day. Just checking because I did the original Snow Day. I want to do the remake before winter's over. Winter ends next week. And I'm so happy it is because winter was so long, man. They're like headphones. Again, Miles has headphones over his ear. And this villain dies so easily. Hold on. Lie down a little bit. We still got another, like, hour to go, I believe. Yeah. This isn't no Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's not as bad as, like I said. Yeah, she is. It's a different actress playing her. Lashana only appears at the very end. At the very end in a post-credit stinger where she's another character. She had cancer. No, because Wanda kills her just like that in Multiverse of Madness. Hmm. This is like a memory. You saw WandaVision. They showed her in that with her Star Trek like suit uniform. She's so caring. I wear headphones a lot down to drown out so much bad noise. Yeah, I do. I live in a major city. I don't live in a small town. Because when they reintroduce Psylocke, they're gonna give her the outfit from X-Men Apocalypse again. Just they're not gonna get Olivia Munn. They're gonna get somebody else. I mean, the Illuminati was nothing in the comics. They were much better than in the movie, in Multiverse of Madness. Because look what happened. They all died. I mean, you had a Reed Richards we cared about, John Krasinski, and he dies. Wow. He should have been Mr. Fantastic for a long time. Hmm. That's from Pirates. That's a Pirates of the Caribbean reference. We have our heading. See, that's people talking on their phones. That's just a normal thing, even in a Marvel movie. This made me want to rewatch WandaVision. Yeah. Well, I got to do Multiverse of Madness, but I'm not going to do it now. Krasinski didn't want to. There was a fan casting, but we could have had him more. But no, instead he's going to do more films with his wife, who is not in the MCU. She would have ruined Black Widow for me if she was. I'm glad Scarlett Johansson got it. Scarlett. They didn't put the subtitles. was they ate all the pots and pans. Yep, it's licking itself. No, Nova. Nova's a character. Yeah, Vision is already taken. Nova's already taken. There's a character named Nova in the Nova Corps. They should have gave her a name. I would have fought against doing it. You hadn't fought against. This isn't Diary of a Kid. Haley's not gonna do it yet because Haley's pregnant. She'll have to wait till after she gives birth to be in the next MCU thing. No. Same age. No, he's not. This guy's in his 30s. It's like Lightspeed in Star Wars. Aladna, the planet where they sing. That was a surprise for me too, but I'm like, it's got Disney's name on it. They had to put a song in there. So, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy started with a dance scene, after Peter's flashback. Mm, we know. Yeah, the Asian guy that's in one scene, he should have been in it more. They sing. I thought that was JoJo from the Sonic movies. It's not. Feels like a Disney remake, but one song, not a bunch of songs. Again, again, Disney did that. But Brie Larson can sing. It's like a Disney remake, but except again shorter, and not a remake of something we've seen already. Get that out of the way. Brie can sing. At least they got an actress who can sing. Unlike in the Beauty and the Beast remake, Emma Watson is not a singer. We know that now. Yep, there's a lot of space. The costumes are nice. They're very colorful, just like in Superman. If you've seen Hamilton, they do that. Hell, the movie Les Mis, they only sing in the movie. There's no acting in the movie. It's just singing. There's no dialogue in the movie. So that worked, and that got Oscar nominations. I know she can sing. Mario, she's not gonna sing in Mario though, because Rosalina doesn't sing. Pauline sings in Mario Odyssey. Here he comes. It's in one scene. He should have been in more of the movie, because there's no guys except for Nick Fury and Kamala's brother and her father. There's not really a lot of male characters in this movie. I like that dress. It's cute. It's pretty. They got this so little girls could have their, Captain Marvel dress code. Her pretty. Brie can sing. They're like, oh, she looks like a Disney princess. That's stupid. Remember which company makes that? Hey, look, it's a K-pop demon hunter. He's South Korean, yeah. At least she's dancing with a man. Yeah, he looks like one of the K-pop demon hunter guys. The K-pop men's group. I like his costume. They could talk. We know he's Asian. We know he's bilingual. He's South Korean. That was a funny joke. See, there's some little sprinkles of humor I do like in the film. The scene with the cats, yeah, it could be a lot because the goose hatches a bunch of eggs and they turn into cats and they eat people and they have the song from Cats, Memory, but it's in French for some reason. Yeah, Supergirl could be like this, but I don't think it's gonna flop, Josh, because it's one character, not three. I wouldn't hate dancing with a girl like her. No, I would love that. I like her costume. It's just they should have gave her the name Photon. Stop acting like these characters don't have names because they do. They don't say Shazam because then it turns back into Billy Batson, but that's the only exception. Every superhero should say their name on camera. Yeah. We're about an hour in. See, the movie's very short. It goes by at a quick pace. It doesn't drag. And anything will be a masterpiece compared to the Marvels. I mean, the Eternals, my bad. Or the Inhumans. This at least tried. This Cat Guardians and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania were still better than the Eternals. The Eternals just hurt me so badly. I haven't watched it in 5 years because I'm like, it's just dull. Those characters didn't get over at all. I didn't see one person dress up as an Eternal when I went to Comic Con in 2022 because it's a bad movie. It's long and dull, and the actors just didn't save it. They got discount version of DC characters like Wonder Woman and the Flash. I'm like, why? I could just see the Justice League Snyder cut. That's a better movie. It's too long, but it's at least a better movie and it's more focused than the Eternals. And at least it's a finale to Snyder's vision, at the very least. That had a vision. Eternals could have been directed by an actual action director, not an artsy fartsy woman that doesn't know what she's doing, Chloe Zhao. That's why I didn't see Hamnet, because I don't care. If it's as boring as the Eternals, I want nothing to do with it, guys. And I love Shakespeare's plays, but yeah, he's Asian. He doesn't have to bend over to for you. Darben is one of the most boring villains I've ever seen, man. She really is. Just because a film flops doesn't mean that it'll be completely forgotten. Thanks to me, I'll get this movie more attention than it got in the theater. Haven't done any Guardians movies yet since 2020. Yes, we know, Josh. I'm doing the third one, but not right now. I'm gonna wait till after I see Mario, so I could do it in like May. That's when it came out. So April, I want to do other films like stuff in my collection. Her scarf, yeah, that scarf is pretty cool. Yep, whip it. That's why I decided to do this and not Wonder Woman 1984. I did Bloodlines, and that's shorter. That's why I did it. I like shorter films. I don't want movies that are 3 hours long. I'm not seeing a 3 hour movie till spring because I saw enough. Spear. Because Red One flopped, and I want to do a podcast for that in July. Red One, the Christmas movie. I really enjoy that movie. I think it's underrated. It was a big budget bomb, but it was in on Amazon Prime, so I think it's very funny. And The Rock and Chris Evans saved the movie for me. When people, it's too late. You're boring. You're the most boring actress I've seen in the MCU in such a long time. And I had to sit through Emma Corrin's acting in Deadpool and Wolverine, but at least she got hers. She failed, just like these villains usually do. Thanos actually won in Infinity War. And the action's good in this movie. It's well shot. Nia DaCosta got so much flack for this, but I'm like, this isn't her movie. This is a Marvel manufactured movie. Nia DaCosta did she recently did what she do? Uh she did something last year. A movie bombing doesn't mean it's forgotten or no one gives it attention. April, I'm not sure what I'll do. You should do the 2023 Mario. That's what you should do, Josh. I'm seeing the real Mario in the theater. I could get up for a second. Let me see what Nia DaCosta did. This is the most boring villain of 2023. Kang, at least. Nia DaCosta did had a oh yeah, she did 28 years later the Bone Temple, which flopped because again, we just got a 28 years later last year. It flopped. Maybe this director can't do big budgets. We know that Chloe Zhao can't do a big budget movie because Eternals was it didn't flop, but it underperformed. No, he's a British guy. They're never good news. They always make movies. Yeah, let me just. Ah, ah. Oh, that was good. The Mario movie bombed from 1993, but it got a cult following. So did a Buckaroo Banzai, and a bunch of other films too. The movie's box office doesn't measure quality, because if that was the case, Michael Bay would be a freaking king, and he's not. Because some of the movies that were hits for him were bad. Like, look at Transformers: Age of Extinction. That movie is long, guys. Take that, you Bento. Also, it goes that Carol shares the screen time with these two other girls, so it's not all about her. Because in the first one, it was mostly about her, which is fine. I love Brie Larson. Do I enjoy Superman more than this? Of course I do, guys. It was my favorite movie of that year. And Mario. Mario made $1 billion. I was not expecting that. Yeah, I can. You already did Mario. I forgot. Then do the anime. Do the 1993 movie. So she's overpowered. So was Wanda in Multiverse of Madness, and nobody complained about that. Or what about whatchamacallit? Even Superman, they made him more vulnerable. That's what worked in the 2025 movie. This is not Batman and Robin. This is not Spawn. This is not Steel. This is not Fan Snorstick. There's way worse comic book movies that came out in the 90s, 2000s, and the 2010s. I know, because I sat through some of them. Yep, bye, Adeland, or whatever you're called. Disney Planet, because they're singing in a Disney movie. Does this movie have too many characters? Yeah, not the main girls. I'm saying, like, you have Kamala's family, and then you have Darben, who's a boring villain. Then you got all these other people, the Skrulls. Yeah, there are too many characters, even though the movie's short. AI. You don't have the 1993 film, and there's nowhere to stream it. I said the anime. It's not 30 minutes. It's an hour. I said the Great Rescue for Princess Peach is on YouTube, Josh. You have no excuses. Do it. I did it, and it's in bad quality. These girls are beautiful, man. No. She's so she's so cute. She's like the little one. She's the youngest one. She's in. I still think Aventika's better looking, but that's only because I like darker skinned girls. She's got a nice tan though. At least and keep those cheeks, on. Don't lose a ton of weight like Megan Trainor did, because she looks thin now, and also Kelly Osbourne. She looks like she hasn't eaten in a month. I'm like, you have to eat. You can't. Bree's not a stick, She's got a full face. And if I see any of these girls at Comic Con, I'm gonna treat them like royalty. Why? Because they want to be treated that way, not like they have a disease or something. I did that when I met Catherine Newton a couple years ago, and it was the same year I saw this movie. And I liked meeting her. It's just my throat was on fire because I didn't have any water. I went to a panel right after I met her, Ultraman panel, but it was really crowded. It was Ultraman Blazar. I got to see that in May. There's a lot of Asian stuff I got to get through, Josh. Kamen Rider, and Ultraman, and I got to do another Godzilla movie. I got to see -1. I haven't seen that yet. There's the eggs. Why did the eggs look like brains, right? So Goose is a girl. I thought it was a boy. Here come the baby kitties. Kitty cats. That cat still looks better than the one in Argyle. I don't know about the anime film since it's not theatrical. It doesn't have to be theatrical, Josh. It was released in Japan. Kitty, kitty. And like I said, I'm more of a dog person. Avantika needs a movie like this. Yeah, but just not this movie. Something else. Girls are meant to be treated like royalty. That's the one on the convention. Yeah, these cats swallow people and then spit them out. Those kitties are cute. Because the one in Cats look way worse. They do. Or the CGI cats in Catwoman is a way worse movie than this, guys. Oh, yeah. Kitty kitties. And Caitlin Deaver's a kitty already. I've said that. And you could... Also, I love that you could feel the love between her and her family. If you saw Miss Marvel, you could see why. Yep, they got to swallow all the people. I was laughing in the theater. Mm-hmm. This got a big laugh out of me in the theater. Oh yeah, I laughed. I laughed in the theater when they. I don't say girls are kitties. I do, Josh. Yes. Here it comes. Memory. All alone in the moonlight, I can smile at the old days. I was beautiful then. Yeah, again, I love that song. And remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory begin to my say. You're done. It's funny, man. It's kind of a soothing scene. You're so cute. I love this song. It's from Cats, but it's a joke, guys. If you can't take a joke, then walk out of the thing. I saw some people walk out of the scene, but I thought it was. I loved it. It's a good song. It's not their fault that they put it in a horrible movie like Cats. Look at those kitties. The one in Argyle looked like a bad PS4 game or PS5 game. No animals were harmed in this movie, by the way. It's me. It's so easy to leave me. Oh, that song is so epic. The memories of my days in the sun. I promise, guys, I'm not a Broadway singer. Today, a brand new day, Josh, has begun. Yep. Spider-Man, July 31st, man. I can't wait. See, movies like this remind me that the MCU is still alive and well. Deadpool made $1 billion, guys. Yeah. And even though everything flopped last year, we still got another movie coming out. See, that gives me some hope. And Spider-Man, the villain is Scorpion, which is fine. He's a decent enough villain to carry the movie. Yeah, I am, Josh. Everyone says Marvel's dead. They're lying. They're a bunch of liars because Wonder Man was good. Yeah, and X-Men 97 is coming back. I know that's a cartoon, but it's still Marvel. If it's got that Marvel logo, it counts. Also, you got Spider-Noir. Because we don't have Beyond, we got to wait next year. We got Spider-Noir on Amazon Prime. So, suck it, haters. Yeah, suck it. Suck it. I love her relationship with her mom. Yeah, I'm very close to my mother. I love her so much. She's the world to me, guys. Her brother's funny, yeah. Those kitties are so cute. Yeah, I think the cats are cute. I'm sorry, but yeah, I think that Caitlin Deaver is a cat. She has feline tendencies in movies. Will ask me to watch Spider Noir. I'm seeing it, Josh. Nicolas Cage, just his character in a film noir type Marvel show on Amazon Prime, not Disney Plus, so it won't be sanitized. That's gonna be awesome. X Men '97. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll try and black and white. Yeah, it's in black and white. It's gonna be in black and white and in color. Mm. Look at those cats. Yeah, they're vomiting up the crew members. They can't keep them in their mouths for too long because then they'll probably choke to death. Because cats can't eat something that's too big. Hey, New York City. Because Moon Knight, I just didn't know what was going on. I barely know the character. He has a cool costume, but Oscar Isaac overly caffeinated. That's not what people wanted, guys. You got to strike a nice balance between weird and entertaining, like Shang Chi did. Morris was a weird looking creature, but it was funny and had a lot of personality. The Hack the Movies just hates that movie because like it's too much CGI. I get it. I get it. Marvel has a lot of CG. There's something you're gonna have to live with. Spider Man's gonna have a lot of it. So is the film noir Spider Man on Amazon Prime. It's just not gonna have as much because he doesn't need to do. He doesn't have to swing as much. I'm still excited for Brand New Day. We all are because Spider Man is bulletproof when it comes to theatrical releases. He hasn't had a flop in years, guys. Yeah, the last Spider Man movie to not do well at the box office, what that could have done better was Amazing Spider Man 2, and that was a long time ago. Because Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home did well. Take that, you stupid Brit. See, she's so boring, man. She's just discount Loki and Ronan if she was a black girl and not an attractive one either. You look like a horse. I thought it was the girl from Game of Thrones. It's not. Beyond doesn't. It's not gonna bomb, Josh. People are hyped for it. They adore these Spider Verse movies, but we need something to keep our energy up because he can't just release one Spider Man thing and that's it. No, we need, you know, a sub for now. And Film Noir got over. He's one of the most interesting characters, not Spider Punk and freaking whatever else was in the second movie. I'm like, it's just too many characters in that movie. The Indian Spider Man was cool. I liked him because he has a cool aesthetic and he's Indian, just like Kamala's part Indian. But Spider Punk, I don't like. Is like, I'll talk like this. He talks just like Darben, and he didn't do anything at the end. It's like, oh, you're gonna fight? Bye. I'll see you in the third movie. Yeah, you didn't do anything for me, Daniel Kaluuya. You're boring. You're a boring actor. I never saw Get Out, but if I do, I would have cast somebody else. In my opinion, someone who is actually African American, not a Brit. I'm not stupid. I know the difference. Brit, African American. Monica Rambeau, Tiana Paris with hair, by the way. The fight at the end is pretty decent. It's Miles being black. No, black and Latino, Josh. That's all he needs to be. They've been doing these AI generated like fan films of Caleb as Miles. That would work if he wasn't old enough. It's just that he's like 26, right? He's in his 20s. He's not 18. What makes her different than the executioner from What makes her different than the High Evolutionary from Guardians 3? He was just as villain. He was just as lame a villain as she was, because he yells a lot. And I'm like, why? Yelling is not intimidating. Not in that. I love Tiana's hair. She has that nappy hair. I love it. If only she wasn't married, man. But she is. Mm-hmm. Because she was in Candyman. I think Nia DaCosta directed that too. The remake or requel, whatever it's called. The one from 2021. I didn't see it because I missed it for Black History Month. I'll probably see it this month in the spring because it's short. It's not 2.5 hours. It's like an hour and 35 minutes. It's not better than the original, but it wasn't Gal since everyone hates Gal. They're racist, Josh. They don't like Israeli chicks. When there's an Israeli chick in a movie, they treat her like they treat them like they're diseased. You do know that Natalie Portman is Israeli, right? But she won an Oscar, so suck on that. You racist, anti-Semitic asshats. Yeah, you don't have to be racist. If I had Gal in the movie, I would let her be in the entire, or the whole world will watch it, and she could give the finger to freaking all these places that hate her for no reason. Bunch of hateful people. Yeah, she directed Candyman, the 2021 movie. I'll see it. I don't want to wait till Halloween. That's too long. Yeah, she hits the bangles together and blows up. Useless. Watch this. This is so laughable. Whee! She does Wakanda Forever and dies. I'm like, wow, what a great villain, huh? I remember nothing about her. Watch this. This is one of the lamest villain deaths ever. Wakanda Forever. Well, wait. I'm not Wakandan. No. And that's it. She dies. Wow. What a lame duck villain. Man, useless. One of the worst villains of the MCU. By far. I mean, you're making the leader seem competent. At least he didn't blow up and die. He didn't even die in Captain America Brave New World. He didn't die. He went to the raft. The prison, the high security facility in the water, like in from Captain America Civil War. He'll be back probably. You saw her giant hand. When you saw this in the theater, did you give the villain the middle finger? No, but I'm like, yeah, that was weak. The villain doesn't even get beaten by the girl. She does Wakanda Forever and then blows up. I'm like, wait, it was too much power. She dies the same way that Ronan died in Guardians of the Galaxy, except the Guardians did beat him. They held hands. Yeah, and then Monica has to sacrifice herself, but she doesn't die. She just goes to another universe. We're an hour and 23 minutes in, so we're almost done. Yep. Multiverse. Yeah, they're not because Darben is dead. This movie easily could have dragged, and it didn't. She'll be back. She's not dead. I mean, she's in the X-Men universe because they could bring her back. As long as the actor doesn't die, they can bring him back. Mm. I do have a Miss Marvel Funko Pop pin, so if Amon does go, she could sign that. Cause I'm ready, baby. I got my costume. I'm saving my money, and it's in a couple of months. So some people didn't even like the first Captain Marvel, and I still got my poster on the wall. I'm not apologizing for it. I'm not. Bree sold it for me. If that was Natalie Dormer from the Game of Thrones, I would have walked out. Photon. Just call her Photon. Can you do that? You don't have to hide that name. Well, it's like in Shazam, they couldn't say Captain Marvel because that's her original name in the comics, but because it's taken already, Yeah, unless Disney's like, yep, you can have the name back, DC, because you're doing it better than us anyway. I mean, look at Superman. While that didn't make $1 billion, it did better than Marvel, all the Marvel movies last year. That was not a coincidence. It's just people cared more. Superman got over again. It wasn't Cavill being mopey and frowny all the time and killing people. David Cornsweet doesn't even kill Lex Luthor. He lets his dog do it for him. That dog beat the hell out of Lex, and I was so happy seeing it at the theater. I saw that in the theater, and I was like, "You get what you deserve, buddy." I wore this hat at Comic Con a few years ago, but nobody cared because they didn't see the movie. But I did get acknowledged when I was Mario. She can't. At least she didn't die, because that would have pissed me off. Because the post credit stinger makes sure that she didn't die. Disney could have done a lot worse. Trust me. Dollar Destiny was worse than this because it was longer, and it needed to be shorter. And that had an insufferable female character that I hated from the moment she came out. Yeah, the look on her face says it all. It's very quiet. It's one of the few quiet moments in the film. With her and Goose, that was one of the few quiet moments. See, because space, there's no sound in space. I don't get acknowledged at conventions, Josh. You've never been to one. You have to make your voice be heard. You can't just run away. There's a lot of autistic people that go to Comic Con. Trust me. There's actors that are on the spectrum that go. Billy West was there a few years ago. I didn't see him, but that's only because I didn't wait in line for him. He wasn't there. He was doing a panel for Futurama. This is a fun movie. It's not horrible, guys. I've seen horrible, okay? If you've seen my podcast for Batman and Robin last year, that was hard to sit through. Really, really hard. I was so like dumbfounded how badly written that movie is. I was like, yeah, I sit through this and Shang-Chi and Black Adam any day over that. They all did. Look at that face. She can act. Iman is a really good actress. She has a lot of charm and she can be dramatic in some scenes as well. At least Elizabeth was safe here from this movie bombing. Well, Elizabeth was never going to be in this movie, Josh. She would have taken the movie over. She's not dead, though. Yeah, she went back to Holland, solved their problem. I had to do this one, guys. You know it was coming. It was either this or Supergirl. I'm going to do Supergirl on Sunday, the 1984 film. While that's highly flawed, I like it better than some of the seasons of the TV show, like 4 through 6, because at least she's the focus. And the new one will be fine. I know people are worried it's not going to be as good as Superman, but I'm not expecting it to be. I just want it to be decent. At the very freaking least, decent. I'm not expecting the world out of it. Mario, I'm expecting the world because it is my world. Mario's my everything when it comes to gaming. So you got the sun again. Look, the sun just came out too. I'm glad it's melting that horrible snow from the month of February because that was a lot, man. I had to shovel a lot because of the casting. Yeah, I'm not worried about the casting, Josh. I didn't hate her cameo. I just wanted more. You can't get much out of a 30-second cameo. Sorry. The glow. She has the glow. People just want to hate just to hate because they're idiots. I'm not one of those people. Yeah, Kamala has to move because she doesn't feel safe in Jersey City. So instead, they moved to, it's like Illinois or something like that. I forgot. Also, also, this movie doesn't have a lot of subtitles because Eternals had a lot of it. Yeah, they go to Louisiana. That's where they move to. That's in the South. They had to move because Jersey was just going to be bombarded. Plus, their house. Yeah, yeah. They moved. They moved to Louisiana because it's the South and it's cleaner there. Yeah, because Jersey City, that house got destroyed by the Skrulls and by those blue warriors that were from the beginning of the film. They got a plane there. Ahmed. Yeah, because he married a black girl in Miss Marvel. But again, in this, there was one question: where's Bruno? He's never mentioned in this movie. Bruno has to come back, guys. If Iman comes back, I want to see Bruno. That actor is alive. I want to see him back. He stole a lot of the show from her when she was not on screen. And my Bruno was the best part of that show besides her and her family. Yeah, Bruno. He's not a superhero. I don't care, Josh. He could be an influencer or something. When he went to the convention with her, yeah, here comes Haley Steinfeld's wonderful cameo. I'm so happy for her. So happy she's going to be a mom soon. And people had problems with her saying she's a substitute. Hello, puppy. That's the dog with the one eye from Hawkeye. Hello there, beautiful. Oh man, she's sexy, man. And this is not a post-credit scene. When I went to see Captain Runner's movie, I made sure that I ignored the haters. Yes, she's not a kid. Haley is actually almost 30. Her and Captain Caitlin Dever are the same age. We know. You're telling the audience what we know already. Yes, there's a lot of girls in the Young Avengers, but it doesn't bother me. Stature. We know the Young Avengers. After she gives birth, because she can't do a superhero movie while pregnant. She only did the voice and beyond because you can do voice acting when you're pregnant. And that was the Marvels. Yeah, nothing great, but not the worst thing I've ever seen. Let me just skip this. Get to the post-credit scene. Here we go. This is the post-credit scene where she sees her mom again as a different character. That's not Saturn Girl. Saturn Girl's from DC. I don't know what this character's name is. But I was intrigued when I saw Beast come out. I'm like, oh, the X-Men. She's good, man. She's so good. See, that's not her mom, actually. It's the same actress. There's Beast. Yep, that's Kelsey Grammer. The X-Men universe. Hey, Beast. The real Beast. Not Nicholas Holt. The OG Beast from Last Stand. It's CGI, but it is his voice. They might put Monica in the next X-Men movie. Why not? Even though it was good to see him. Charles, I don't think it's going to be Patrick Stewart. He's too old, guys. See, that costume is cool, but she's not Saturn Girl because, again, that's DC. Yep, and that's it. Is there another post-credit scene? No, I don't think there is. Yep, she's in another universe. Let me check. I don't think there is. I like seeing the end credits because you never know. In loving memory of Jamie Christopher, Mark Charrington, and Mariana Ivanova. No, there's no scene at the end. They have the kitties meowing. So that was my thing of the Marvels. Thanks for watching, guys. And I hope to do another Marvel movie real soon because I just did Deadpool movie. Now I did this. So see you guys tomorrow. I'll be doing Snow a Day 2022, a remake. So see you guys then. Yeah. See ya.